All right, hello, this is Mr. Zimmerman. Just got done with football practice and getting ready to show you how you are to enter the classroom. So if you would, go ahead and follow me, and we're going to show you what you do as you enter through the door. All right, when you come through the door, the first thing that you want to do is come to your number, which I will assign you right now, and these will all be filled here. But right now, I am number 13. So as I enter the room, I see I've got my watercolor set. I've got my paper plate, which I'm going to use as a palette. And then I also have my watercolor paper. Now, on the board, I don't have it there, but it'll be written what kind of paintbrush. So I'm going to look over here to the chalkboard, and let's say that it's a fan brush that I'm going to use today. Or actually a round brush would be better, because we're going to show you a few things. So we come over here, and we've got sorted different paintbrushes, and we'll tell you which each type is, but today we're going to use a round paintbrush. So we're going to go ahead and pick that paintbrush out. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and sit over here at our desk. And you guys will know what desk that you have. You've already had them assigned. We're going to come right here. We've got a pan of water, and this is going to be the first step. And so we're going to sit here, and then we're going to get ready to receive the rest of the instruction of what we're going to do to paint our watercolor project. All right, now that we're sitting here, the next thing that we need to know is how am I going to get the watercolor onto the watercolor paper without making these watercolors super messy, because we want to be able to keep reusing these, and if we get them messy and we start mixing and blending colors here, it's going to get really muddy and we're not going to be able to use these. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to transfer our paint to our palette. And we're going to use this styrofoam plate. The styrofoam plate just has more area than the lid. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dip our paintbrush into the water. You can go ahead and come closer here and look what we're doing here. We're going to dip that in the water, then we're going to come, take it out, and the first color we're going to use, we're going to have an order. The first color we're going to use is yellow, and the reason is it's a lighter color, and so we won't make the water as muddy. So we're going to come here, we're going to get that color on here, and then we're going to put that to the plate. Now you see that little wet spot there. If you zoom in and see that little wet spot, if I add more paint without adding water, that's going to make that brighter. Okay, we're going to make that value darker. So we're going to keep on adding that paint there to it. Now if you look at it, I don't have much paint to work with. I may want to cover a whole big area. So I'm going to take my paintbrush back in the water, get it wet, put it back in here. We're going to keep adding paint to this so that we can cover my paper. All right, so we're going to keep adding this, less water. The darker the value, okay, the brighter the yellow is going to be. All right, so we get that yellow on there. Okay, we may want to increase depending on how much area we're going to put on there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this paint, and let's say I'm going to cover my area with yellow. I have something already drawn here. We're just going to go on here, take that from the plate, which we're using as a palette, and we're just going to cover that just like that. All right, now next thing we're going to do is switch colors. Okay, if I want to switch colors, we want to rinse the paintbrush, and this is how you're going to rinse the paintbrush thoroughly. You want to take your paintbrush, you can zoom in on this, and you want to push it down, and you want to keep pushing, and you can see there as I push, the yellow paint is coming off the paintbrush. All right, now I go to my next color. Okay, the next color we're going to go to is orange. And we'll work more with our lighter colors and then darker. If we go darker to lighter, more of a chance that we're going to get that dark paint in our light paint, and we're going to change the color value of it. So I'm going to go to orange now. So I'm going to dip that in orange, and we can see here it's a pure orange. We don't have any yellow mixed in that. So we're going to build that up, keep adding the paint to that. Okay, and I can add my orange. Now I could do two things. We may paint it on top of it and mix it into the yellow. We could paint it on the side, or maybe a mixture of both. Those details will be later. Right now we're just trying to preserve the paint. We're trying to keep the paint clean so that we can use that over and over again and get more value of it. All right, now we're ready for our final step. Okay, we've already completed our painting. All right, and now it's time for cleanup. So we want to make sure that we do a great job, because what we don't want to happen is we don't want these brushes to dry out and then we'll ruin them if we don't rinse them out. So we already showed how to rinse them when we were switching colors. It's going to be the same process. We want to take our paintbrush and we want to keep pushing down there, okay, till we don't see any color coming off of the brush anymore. So we're just going to rinse that out just like that. Okay, we're going to bring our paintbrushes up. We're going to take the paper towel, okay, and we're going to just dry this with the paper towel. Just like this. Keep drying it. We want to dry it real thorough. Okay, now it's not going to be completely dry. There'll be a little bit of water left in there. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back to our number over at the table. That's where we're going to dry our paint. So what we're going to do is we're going to close our paint lid. All right, we're responsible for this. So if we look at our number and I see this is all messy and this has got mixed up, then we haven't followed proper procedures. Okay, we want to bring this back to our number that we started with. Grab our painting. Okay, palettes, we'll deal with that at another time. For now, we're just going to leave those on the desk. We're going to pick up our painting. We're just going to bring it back here. Bring it back to the number that I started with, number 13. We're going to put it there to dry. Okay, we're going to put our paint set back where we got it there. And we're going to leave the paintbrush here. We'll leave this out. We don't want to put them back there because if it dries up, everybody should have a paintbrush at each station. If we put it back in there and we don't get it thoroughly dry and that, it's going to harden. So we want to leave it there. Now we're done. Okay, everything is clean. We can come back here the next day and paint just like we are. I hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully this is clear to how you clean up a paintbrush and how you keep your paints going longer. Thank you.